Since 1972, the world has lived under a silent umbrella of protection. It wasn't an umbrella made of steel, but of paper. For over 50 years, the two nations capable of ending human civilization, the United States and Russia, had a deal. They would count each other's warheads, they would inspect each other's silos, they would keep the end of the world on a leash. Today, that leash just snapped. The New START Treaty, the very last nuclear arms agreement between the world's two superpowers, has officially expired. There are no more inspectors, no more notifications. For the first time in half a century, the nuclear giants are unchecked. Welcome to Untold Battle. Today, we explore why the 2026 nuclear cliff is the most dangerous moment in human history, and why, if it expires, might be the most haunting sentence ever spoken in the Oval Office. To understand why today is a disaster, you have to understand what New START actually did. It wasn't just a pinky promise, it was a rigid mathematical cap. 1,550 deployed warheads, 700 deployed launchers, including ICBMs, submarines, and bombers, and most importantly, 18 on-site inspections every single year. Imagine two men in a dark room, both holding loaded shotguns pointed at each other's heads. New START was the agreement that they would both only keep 2 shells in the chamber, and they'd let the other guy check their pockets once a month. It provided transparency, because in nuclear war, it's not the weapons that kill you first, it's the misunderstanding. If one side sees the other moving a truck and thinks it's a nuke, they might launch a preemptive strike. New START prevented that, until Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 began the slow, painful death of the treaty. How did we get to this specific day? In late 2025, Vladimir Putin made a rare move. He offered to honor the limits for 1 more year without a formal treaty, but only if the US did the same.
It seemed like a lifeline. Even the White House initially called it a good idea. But the geopolitical atmosphere of 2026 is far more toxic than 2010. By January, the tone changed. President Trump's response to the New York Times was blunt. If it expires, it expires. We'll just do a better agreement. But there is no better agreement on the table. Russia wants the US to stop missile defense and pull nukes out of Europe. The US wants Russia to include their invincible hypersonic missiles and for China to join the table. The result? A total stalemate. As of this morning, the inspectors have packed their bags. The cameras are being turned off. Here is the terrifying secret of 2026, the upload capacity. Under the treaty, both sides kept their missiles half empty to stay under the 1,550 limit. But the missiles themselves, they have plenty of room. Experts warn that within weeks of today's expiration, the US could add 480 warheads to its bomber bases. Within months, it could load nearly 1,000 more onto submarines. Russia can do the same even faster. We aren't just losing a treaty, we are entering the era of nuclear math. If I think you are uploading 500 warheads today because the treaty ended, I have to upload 600 to be safe. You see me doing that, so you upload 800. This is the definition of an arms race. And this time, it's not just 2 players. China is watching, and they are building their silos faster than at any point in history. Why does 2026 feel different than the Cold War? Because of AI and hypersonics. In the 80s, you had 30 minutes to decide if a blip on a radar was a bird or a nuke. Today, hypersonic missiles reduce that window to 5 minutes. Without the New START verification, we are flying blind. We are moving from a world of trust but verify to a world of assume the worst and launch.
Today will be remembered as the day the safety rails were removed from the world's most dangerous machine. We are now in a trinity of nuclear powers, the US, Russia, and China, with 0 rules, 0 inspections, and a lot of old grudges. The battle for global stability isn't fought on a field anymore. It's fought in the silence of an expired treaty. History teaches us that when empires stop talking, they start loading. What do you think? Is this the start of a better agreement as promised, or the beginning of the end? Let us know in the comments. This is Untold Battle. Don't forget to subscribe for the next chapter of the 2026 crisis.